Yeah, kind of similar to Troy. My first year here was kind of just bad shape. The program wasn't in a good spot. We had like 4 goalies and 8 skaters, and now it's tons of skaters and 1 goalie. So it just proves like the vicious cycle of high school, especially for us public schools. Like, but we found a lot of hope. We found 40 players in our middle schools that have come up by doing middle school lunches and stuff, and it's a huge thanks to these guys right here. Like every single one of these guys, for the most part, has played some level of AAA hockey. And they've put the belief in high school hockey, and like it's a place to develop, it's a place to move on. So these guys make me come to the rink probably one of the happiest coaches in the world right now. Don't take that lightly. So I'm excited for this year. We've come a long way in the last 2 years. And it's been fun. It's been all right.
That says on here, your largest group of seniors in recent memories. Let's talk about the buy-in to this program.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons each year we had 2 seniors, so it was a pretty quick senior night. But we've been able to kind of, I want to say, get our claws into these guys, but give them a product they can believe in, right? It's not always an easy transition from high-end travel or AAA to go to your high school for a long time. It's been almost labeled like this is the end-all be-all, right? Like it's your career ends here, and I'm not a believer in that. I think it's a real good opportunity for guys to find a different lane to get to where they want to go. So the seniors that we have, we've got 3 here, and they're just amazing leaders. We got 2 underclassmen in our leadership group this year, so they got tons of leaders in the senior class to look up to and learn and mature from. But I think having seniors that can take care of a practice or do the little things when coach isn't around it's almost like an extension of the coaching team, right? So I look to these guys for a lot.
And then go down the row here and introduce each player.
I'm Paul Alnich, I'm an assistant captain and a senior.
I'm Brady Brink, I'm a sophomore, assistant captain.
I'm Ryan Alnich, I'm a senior and I'm captain.
Curtis Kent, I'm a junior, assistant captain.
Curtis Wilson, senior, assistant captain.
And just a question anyone of you guys can answer is, what do you guys love about playing high school hockey?
It's home. Simple as that. I've always had a lot of fun. I mean, switching from AA to high school is just a different, it's a family more. You get to see everyone at school and just get to really bond with your teammates.
Anyone else want to chime in?
I think just student involvement is really big. Coming from AAA, you don't have too many bystanders, so it's like when you come to high school, it's a totally different dynamic.
You guys have any special trips this year, going like up north, up west? What do you guys have planned for this year?
Yeah, so we made Clark Park an annual thing. It's real cool, obviously, right? Get the boys outside and whatever. But we got a real cool trip. We're going out west this year. We do a morning skate at Wings West in Kalamazoo. We'll play them later that day, and then the next day we'll go to Adrian. We'll get a tour of the campus, get to take in an NCAA game, and then we'll play East Kenwood out there. So. Yeah, just a lot of fun things. Last year we got to go to an event and play there. So obviously, when you leave the AAA and travel world, you're limited to what's in the state sometimes. So we try to make the most of taking advantage of some of these cooler barns and stuff like that.
Petey?
Yeah, Brady,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so let's go back maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Was your plan to play for Farmington all along?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, that was what I figured, but so my question is then, what changed? What did you see? What kind of went into that process to ultimately change your mind and put you here?
I really like the coaching. Coach Anthony came out, saw me after I saw one of my games, talked to me after. He reminded me of one of my favorite coaches from when I was younger. And like the loyalties
Sure.
of high school.
Okay, and then give me a senior. Who's, okay. So, similar vein, right? Like you've been in the hallways for a long time now, right? Like, has the opinion or the thoughts of this program kind of changed over the last couple of years in the way this program is talked and thought of in the hallways in the school?
Of course. We had a couple hard years a couple years ago, so it was a little hard to hear. Not bad things, but not great things being said about this program. But yeah, we're getting a lot of student involvement, big on student sections, and everyone's coming out and really supporting the team.
Right on. Coach, did I see someone playing in the NA? Did I see that on Instagram?
Yeah. it's crazy. We've got a rich history at Farmington. Obviously, with state championship, and a lot of guys moving on home to guys like Alex DeBrincat, Johnny Lefferman. But yeah, Tony Eaton, he was another big guy once the United kind of became a thing. When I was in high school, it was just the Falcons and then Flyers, and now we're all together. So that was a little adjustment. But yeah, no, he's a great kid. He when I first got here, he would take advantage, come skate with us a little bit. And stuff like that. We have a buddy, Owen Hunn with Cam. He does a lot of skills with him in the off season. So yeah, it's really cool, and it allows when we're doing our recruiting within and getting some of these types of players. Like, look, like he did it. He came play at high school, and you know he went on to play OJG after, and he's made a couple of different stops before El Paso, but he's there. And you know, it's another kind of testament to high school hockey. Like you don't need to be here 4 years, just one. Just make it a great one. So
You're a guy who's been pretty involved since you took over, right? With a spring program, you're in TPH in the fall. Like, you kind of have to do and be involved in a lot of those things to help build and fuel your own program.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious, maybe to other coaches coming in, any advice or like, hey, you know what, this really helped me get a foothold in the program and really help start building things
huge.
up.
I'm a big believer in stealing the good things from your buddies. I got a lot of good coaches here in the OAA to look up to, and they took care of me my first year here, really took me under their wing. I coached a lot of really good 05s and 06 before I got here. The Cam Duffneys, the Kinter, like they were all on my Contour team, and it's been cool to watch them grow. But the thing that made them great was we were always doing something, and obviously in MHSA, right, we're limited to the 4 months for competition. So it's important that my boys and a lot of these guys in this league know that there's things out there for them, whether it's MLH or Team Michigan or MDHL or TPH. Like, for me, it's not a competition. I think there's hockey for anyone, right? I know I'm at TPH, but like it makes sense for MDHL for someone to do that, right? It's the weekends and it's the, you know, you're playing all these guys. So there's definitely something for everyone to stay sharp in the off season. I think for coaches, right? I know when we get hired by the schools, it says X, Y, and Z is your job, but I think the great coaches are doing what's not on that sheet, you know. So.
What do we have to do to bring those two together for an October league? That's a question for another
sure
day.
is.
But you nailed it at the onset. Like, hearing the guys from Troy talk, I had that exact same conversation with you a couple of years ago, and literally where you've taken it. And I want to ask your players, especially the guys that have been here, what's it been like? I mean, Coach said, listen, give me a couple of years, we're going to get it going. I'm going to start with you. What's it been like? First on the outside and now on the inside of watching this grow to where it's been?
It starts from rebuilding the culture. You know, we got a team who, like you said, we have in a championship program before, so you got to take the good things from the bad. You got to separate them, build a winning culture first. You can't keep repeating that all the rules. So have this rebuild. It takes time, but
Just the energy. I just really noticed an energy shift the past couple of years. Just everyone's just really wanting to win. There's just a lot of good kids on this team. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I've been here, I think, since the beginning with you, right?
You're the OG.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, I've really watched this team, like, thrive. Like, I remember when I first got here, it was a little rough those first 2 seasons, but I think this year, it's our year. I really think it's going to be our year this year.
So the first Mighty Ducks movie is what it was. Oh.